Did you know that after turning 60, your body holds a hidden power, a sort of living pharmacy capable of producing the most astonishing vitamin to revive your circulation, especially in that area many prefer not to mention? I'm not talking about a magical pill from the internet, nor an expensive supplement brought from across the world. I'm talking about something that has always been inside you, waiting to be unleashed, something that fear, guilt, and ancient myths have kept chained for far too long. That natural vitamin, that elixir created by your own body, can restore your energy, passion, and the deepest connection with yourself, while at the same time protecting you from serious illnesses like prostate cancer. Yes, you heard that right. What you are about to discover isn't just about pleasure. This is a conversation about survival, about quality of life, about taking back control of your health and confidence. It's the kind of discussion many doctors never dare to have, whether out of discomfort or a lack of time. Here, no topic is forbidden, only truths supported by science, shared with honesty and respect. But before diving into the fascinating mystery of this powerful internal vitamin, I want to ask you a direct question, and I want you to answer with complete honesty. Have you ever felt that certain health topics, especially those related to intimacy, are impossible to talk about? That shame has stopped you again and again? If your answer is yes, write it down, because this message is undoubtedly meant for you. And believe me, you are not alone. Not long ago, I met an admirable man, Mr. James, 73 years old. He came to the appointment with restless hands, fingers intertwined, avoiding eye contact, as if the floor could give him the answer he was seeking. His body carried the weight of many years of silence. Finally, with a voice almost breaking, he asked me, "Doctor, at my age, is it normal to still have those moments alone?" When he lifted his eyes, I saw in them a mix of hope and fear, the deep fear of being judged. That silent shame had accompanied him for decades. I answered with another question, as gently as possible. "Mr. James, do you think your heart stops beating as you age? That your lungs stop working when you grow older?" He nodded, confused, not fully understanding where I was going. Then I asked him, "Why should your sexuality fade? Something so natural, so deeply human, as if it had an expiration date written in your gray hair or on your birth certificate." That absurd myth, that idea that virility disappears along with youth, is not only false but dangerous. It's a belief that has diverted entire generations from the true path to health and well-being. And precisely within that confusion, we find the core of what I want to share with you today. Circulation. Think of it as the silent foundation of everything. I invite you to see your penis not just as a muscle, but as a marvel of biological engineering, a hydraulic system so precise that nature took millions of years to perfect. For this system to function with the strength and fullness it deserves, it needs a solid foundation, powerful, stable, continuous blood flow. Over the years, it's true, these pipes, arteries, and vessels can deteriorate, lose flexibility, harden, or fill with plaques that block the free flow of life. It's a normal part of aging, yes, but here's the secret. It's not irreversible. We can understand it, confront it, and even reverse it. Aging doesn't mean giving up. It means acting with awareness, caring with respect for the temple we inhabit. And this is exactly where modern science gives us a fascinating clue. The body, in its infinite wisdom, produces a vital substance, a molecule that could be called the vitamin of life. It doesn't come in capsules or bottles. It's born inside you. I'm talking about nitric oxide. That small molecule which, together with testosterone, the great conductor of male balance, supports much of intimate vitality. Every time desire arises, every time body and mind synchronize, a remarkable phenomenon is activated. The brain, that perfect command center, sends a clear and precise order. Release nitric oxide into the tissues of the penis. Imagine this molecule as a shining key that opens hidden doors. What does this key do? It loosens the walls of the arteries, relaxes them, widens them with millimeter precision, allowing blood, rich in oxygen and nutrients, to flood the corpora cavernosa. It's not just a flow, it's a current of life, a torrent that revitalizes every cell. Every erection is literally a cardiovascular workout for your most intimate system. It's the secret gym of your body, the one that keeps your arteries young, flexible, and full of energy. It's like performing a silent training in strength and flexibility, but on a microscopic scale, in the blood vessels that support your potency and intimate health, and which, as you'll discover, influence much more than just sexuality. Now, what happens when we let that engine shut down? When moments of intimacy, whether alone or with a partner, become rarer and rarer, the signal to release nitric oxide fades. The tissues stop receiving their natural nourishment, that blood rich in oxygen that keeps them alive, elastic, awake. And what happens to a garden when it stops being watered? It dries out, hardens, loses its color, its shine, its life. That's exactly what happens to your member when it's not given movement or stimulation. Gradually, the tissues become rigid, fibrous, less sensitive. They lose youth, responsiveness, and magic. Erectile function doesn't simply turn off because of age. It often deteriorates from lack of use. That's clear. In biology, there's a law as simple as it is powerful: what isn't used atrophies. Stopping erections isn't just giving up pleasure, it's depriving a part of your body of its oxygen, its nutrition, its most essential exercise. It's like stopping training your heart or your lungs. That area needs movement. It needs activity to stay alive, strong, healthy. We've talked about circulation, vitality, the importance of keeping arteries open and active, but what you are about to hear goes beyond firmness or desire. Let's now talk about something that, without exaggeration, could save your life: prostate cancer prevention. For years, a wall of shame and misinformation has surrounded this topic. We were made to believe that masturbation or frequent sex was harmful. What a big lie, and how many people suffered for believing it. Modern science has completely debunked that myth. Today, the truth is clear, striking, and backed by evidence. A monumental study conducted by the University of California followed more than 30,000 men over 2 decades. The result? Surprising. Those who ejaculated 21 times or more per month had a 33% lower risk of developing prostate cancer compared to those who did so only 4 to 7 times. A 33% lower risk. This is not a small detail. It's a difference that can shape the course of a life. And why does this happen? The explanation is as logical as it is beautiful in its simplicity. Imagine the prostate as a small factory, or better yet, as a sponge responsible for producing vital fluids. If these fluids stagnate, if there is no constant renewal, harmful substances, the waste your body tries to eliminate, accumulate. And when something accumulates for too long, it inevitably becomes diseased. Those accumulated substances inflame tissues, irritate internal walls, and create the perfect environment for harmful cells to appear. In contrast, ejaculation works as a natural cleaning process, a biological purge that renews and protects. It's like opening a faucet. The old, cloudy fluid goes away, replaced by a fresh, pure flow. Every time you ejaculate, you're eliminating toxins, clearing the ducts, preventing the formation of that dangerous sediment that, over time, could become a threat. From this perspective, each orgasm isn't just pleasure. It's preventive maintenance, a deep cleansing, an intelligent way to care for your prostate. When I explained this to Mr. James, his reaction was something I'll never forget. His eyes widened with astonishment, and the shame that had accompanied him for years first turned into relief, then into indignation. So, all those years feeling guilty, believing I was doing something wrong, were actually the ones that harmed me by not doing it? He asked, voice trembling. I had to be completely honest with him. Mr. James, I said, silence, guilt, and misinformation are far more toxic than any disease. But what matters now is not the past, but what you can do starting today. You have the power of knowledge, and that power gives you freedom. You can choose to take care of your body consciously, without fear, without taboos. He left the appointment standing taller, his face relaxed, with that energy only someone who has reclaimed the truth about themselves can feel. And if all of this, prostate cancer prevention, wasn't already reason enough to reconsider intimacy after 60, let me tell you about another invisible enemy that attacks silently, especially in older men: stress. Chronic stress is pure poison for the heart. When we live under constant pressure, our body releases cortisol, a hormone that, although necessary in small doses, becomes an executioner when kept high. It hardens the arteries, raises blood pressure, triggers inflammation, and forces the heart to work under continuous fire. That engine, which should operate calmly and in balance, ends up exhausted, overworked, aged prematurely. It's a vicious cycle that slowly destroys from within. But here's the surprising part. Orgasm is your natural antidote, your most powerful medicine. During climax, the brain releases a cascade of endorphins, real natural painkillers, more potent than morphine, but without its harmful effects. It's not just pleasure. It's a complete restoration, a biological reboot that calms stress, cleanses the soul, and returns peace to the body. And the most astonishing part of all this is that during this process, the body drastically reduces cortisol levels. Blood pressure naturally drops, muscles relax deeply, and the mind, the one that never stops thinking for even a second, finally pauses and breathes. It's a total reset, a biological rest that restores every cell of the body. I remember the case of Mr. Robert, a 77-year-old widower for 6 years. When he came to the consultation, his blood pressure was through the roof. He was on medication, yes, but lived with a constant knot in his chest, anxiety sticking to his skin. He confessed that he hadn't had a single intimate moment, neither alone nor with anyone else, since his wife passed away. He said doing so would betray her memory. I spoke to him about all of this, the science, the healing power of pleasure, how it wasn't about forgetting the one he loved, but about taking care of himself, honoring the life she had helped him build. 3 months later, he returned for a checkup. His blood pressure had dropped 5 points. But beyond the numbers, what really moved me was his face. He had a serene smile, a new light in his eyes. "Doctor," he said calmly, "I sleep peacefully. I feel at peace with my body again." And that's what it's about, isn't it? Reconciling with yourself, remembering that the body, even at 70, 80, or more, is not an enemy but an ally. It's not only a source of ailments or fatigue, but also of energy, pleasure, health, and life. That internal vitamin we talked about, that perfect mix of nitric oxide, endorphins, and dopamine, is the most powerful tool you have to keep your internal engine active, your arteries clean, and your heart beating strong. Don't underestimate it. Today, I promise to tell you about the true source of male youth, and no, my friends, it's not in an expensive cream, a hidden magic fountain, or miracle pills. The authentic source of youth is in your brain. Every time you give in to pleasure, every time you reach climax, the brain doesn't just react, it transforms. It becomes a natural, precise, perfect pharmacy impossible to imitate. A biochemical masterpiece capable of creating a cocktail of well-being that no laboratory in the world can reproduce. It all begins with a glorious surge of dopamine. Dopamine, that molecule that drives motivation, desire, and the sense of accomplishment and fulfillment. That spark, that inner energy that makes you feel life is worth living, that joy still exists in ordinary days, that every effort, no matter how small, has its reward, is what keeps the spirit alive. But over the years, it's normal for dopamine levels to decline, bringing apathy, that silent feeling that nothing excites you anymore, that life has lost its shine. Maintaining an active, intimate life is literally keeping that engine of joy, curiosity, and the desire to live running, always lubricated, always ready to ignite and lead you toward new experiences. Then comes oxytocin, that wonderful molecule, also known as the cuddle hormone or the connection hormone. Although most people associate it with love or the bond between parents and children, the truth is that its release, even when you're alone, has a profoundly healing effect. It calms the mind, reduces anxiety, dissolves irritability, and brings us to a state of inner peace, of serenity with ourselves and with the world. For many men, especially those who have lost their partner or live alone, that surge of oxytocin is like an invisible hug, a balm that soothes the soul and combats feelings of emptiness. And on top of that, The brain releases endorphins, those natural painkillers, as powerful as morphine, but without the risks or side effects. If you suffer from chronic pain, if arthritis wakes you before dawn, if stiffness accompanies you when you get up, an orgasm can provide hours of natural relief without any medication. I remember Mr. Robert, an 83-year-old man, with hip osteoarthritis so advanced that he often said the pain clouded everything. He confessed that he had found refuge in intimacy. "It's my escape," he said, "my only moment of the day when the pain goes away and I feel free." If this message is opening your eyes, if it gives you permission to take care of your health without shame, without taboos, take it as a sign, an opportunity to reconnect with your well-being. Because every moment of conscious pleasure, every encounter with your own body, not only rejuvenates, but gives you a powerful medical tool, self-examination. Every time you allow yourself that intimate moment, you are actually performing a natural checkup, a silent review that can save lives. It's a unique opportunity to know yourself, to detect any change, any warning sign. Pay attention. Observe your testicles with awareness, their texture, their shape, any variation, because the body, when listened to, always gives a warning before it has to shout. Feel each testicle gently, calmly. Notice carefully, without rushing. Do you feel any lump, even tiny, the size of a pea or a lentil? Is there any area that feels firmer, denser than usual? Do you notice any change in shape or size? I want to tell you the story of Mr. Matthew, a 72-year-old man. One afternoon, during an intimate moment, he noticed a small knot. It didn't hurt, so his first impulse was to ignore it. He thought that at his age, it must be normal. But something inside told him not to ignore it. He called his doctor, and that simple act of attention saved his life. It was early-stage testicular cancer. Thanks to his intuition and early detection, Mr. Matthew is now completely healthy. I remember him telling me with an emotion I will never forget, that habit I used to be so ashamed of ended up being my salvation. His story is living proof of what it means to listen to yourself, to trust the silent language of the body. Next, examine your penis. When it's erect, do you notice any new curvature, different from usual? Any hardened area or plaque that wasn't there before? This could be an early sign of Peyronie's disease, an annoying but treatable condition if detected in time. And if you feel pain during an erection or ejaculation, do not ignore it. Pain is never normal. It could be a sign of prostatitis or an infection. No one knows your body better than you do. Self-examination, that intimate and conscious contact, is a powerful tool. It's a detailed map of your anatomy that updates with every experience. Any change on that map, a bump, a dip, a different sensation, is a clear message. It's your body speaking urgently. Do not minimize those signs with phrases like, "It's just age." Don't do it. Listen, act, consult. Early detection can make the difference between a minor discomfort and a serious problem. We've already talked about the prostate, the heart, the brain, but the benefits of this practice go much further. Let's now talk about something that affects many men, especially after 60, bladder control. Those unexpected leaks, that annoying dribble after urination, the need to use protective pads, are situations that, although many live within silence, strike at confidence and self-esteem. But here comes great news. Your pelvic floor, that set of invisible muscles supporting the bladder and rectum like a natural hammock, can be strengthened. And the most incredible part is that one of the most effective exercises to keep it strong and toned doesn't require a gym or machines, but something much more natural, something you already know very well. Orgasm. That moment when the entire body seems to vibrate with life. During climax, the pelvic floor muscles contract with rhythmic, intense, automatic force. It's actually a perfect workout, a natural Kegel that happens effortlessly and, let's be honest, infinitely more pleasurable than any gym routine. Strengthening those invisible muscles not only improves urinary control and reduces annoying leaks, but also increases erection firmness and gives much greater control over ejaculation. It's a double benefit, a physical and emotional reward at the same time. And now let's talk about a pillar of health that tends to weaken over the years, sleep. How many nights do you spend tossing and turning in bed, mind racing, reviewing worries, bills, memories, or fears? Insomnia, or that interrupted rest that seems to repair nothing, has become a persistent shadow in the lives of many older men. And its impact is not minor. It exhausts the brain, drains energy, alters mood, and weakens memory and concentration. But there is a natural, powerful, and free medicine waiting for you. The chemical cocktail released by the brain during orgasm is the most perfect sedative that exists. The sharp drop in cortisol, that hormone that keeps the body in constant alert, calms the mind like a deep balm. And along with it, prolactin is released, a hormone that invites rest, wrapping the body in a sense of peace and restorative sleepiness. That is why, after a moment of intimacy, many men feel an irresistible urge to sleep deeply. It's no coincidence. It's pure biology. You don't need pills that dull you or leave you feeling heavy the next day. You have within you a system perfectly designed to give you serene and restorative sleep. Mr. Ernesto, an 83-year-old man, shared it with a sincerity that moved everyone. Every night, I turn off the TV, take 15 minutes just for myself, and I sleep like I haven't slept in decades. I wake up with clarity, with energy, with a desire to live. That is what truly caring for oneself means. It's not about frivolity or empty pleasure. It's a complete health practice, a symphony of benefits that runs through every system of the body, the nervous, cardiovascular, urinary, and immune systems. It's preventive medicine in its purest form, an act of self-love, a conscious maintenance of the extraordinary machine that is your body. And like any powerful tool, it requires knowledge and respect. Because yes, if used without awareness, it can also have consequences. That's why, before continuing, it's important to talk about the other side, the one not always mentioned, but which you must know in order to maximize its potential without putting your balance at risk. We have walked together along a fascinating path, one that has challenged beliefs, dismantled myths, and opened doors that many had kept closed for years. We discovered that an act so human, so natural, and so intimate is actually a powerful health tool, capable of protecting the prostate, strengthening the heart, nourishing the brain, and renewing overall well-being. But knowing the benefits is not enough. It's also vital to understand the limits. Because any powerful tool, if used without knowledge, can become a double-edged sword. That's why I want to share something I consider as important as everything we've discussed, the warnings. The 5 most common mistakes, those silent oversights that can put at risk what we have worked so hard to care for. Listen carefully, because avoiding them is just as essential as maintaining the practice itself. The first mistake, excessive grip. As years pass, many men develop a habit of overstimulation, almost mechanical. Maybe in youth it didn't seem like a problem, but after 60, the skin of the penis becomes thinner, more sensitive, and the blood vessels more fragile. A grip that is too tight can cause internal microinjuries, small bruises, and worst of all, loss of sensitivity over time. It can even make it difficult to feel pleasure with a partner because the body becomes accustomed to pressure that doesn't naturally occur during sex. The solution is simple but profound. Rediscover your body. Use less force, more attention. Make it an experience of exploration, not a race to the finish. Don't seek speed, seek connection. The second mistake, using the wrong lubricant, or worse, none at all. Aging also affects intimate skin, reducing its natural moisture and elasticity. Stimulating without lubrication generates excessive friction, irritation, redness, even small cracks that can hurt and take time to heal. And please, never use soap, shampoo, or saliva. Bath products alter the natural pH and can cause severe irritation. Saliva, meanwhile, dries quickly and does not protect properly. The answer is clear. Choose a good water-based lubricant, without fragrances, without added chemicals, without artifices. It's not a luxury. It's an investment in well-being. It protects, cares for, and transforms the experience into something more pleasurable and safe. The third mistake, confusing a healthy habit with an addiction. What we advocate here is a conscious, balanced practice connected with the body and health. But for some, the same act can become a compulsion. How to distinguish it. After a healthy practice, you feel relaxed, satisfied, at peace with yourself. After an addiction, emptiness, guilt, and the need to hide appear. The difference lies in intention. When you do it for well-being, the body thanks you. When you do it to escape sadness, loneliness, or fear, the soul suffers. Recognizing this limit is fundamental. Pleasure should liberate, never enslave. If you feel that self-stimulation begins to interfere with your daily life, if you have stopped enjoying activities you used to love to stay at home, if you feel the need to hide it, or if you can't stop even if you want to, these are signals you should not ignore. It's not shameful. It's a warning to seek professional help. A therapist can provide tools and support to manage your emotions in a healthier, more balanced way, without guilt, without fear. The fourth mistake, underestimating warning signs. This is perhaps the most dangerous and common error. Your body speaks to you constantly, and you must learn to listen. The mistake is feeling something unusual and dismissing it with a simple, "It's just age." No, pain is never normal. If you feel intense or persistent pain during an erection or ejaculation, you must consult your doctor. If you notice blood in your semen, even just once, seek medical attention. If a sore, lump, or wart appears that wasn't there before, don't ignore it. Consult a professional. If suddenly your ejaculation becomes weak or non-existent without an apparent cause, it's time to act. These signs are not an inevitable part of aging. They are clear messages from your body indicating that something is not right. Detecting them in time can make the difference between a simple treatment and a serious problem. Be proactive, not reactive. The fifth mistake, the destructive cycle of guilt and shame. This error happens in the mind, but its physical effects can be devastating. It occurs when a man takes care of himself, but immediately feels overwhelmed by guilt or shame, thinking he has done something wrong, dirty, or improper. Do you know what happens in your body at that moment? All the cocktail of benefits, dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins, is neutralized, even reversed, by a surge of cortisol, the stress hormone, canceling all the benefits for the heart, blood pressure, immune system, and mood. The solution: perform this act of self-care with acceptance, with permission, with self-love, leaving behind outdated ideas, taboos, and morals imposed since childhood, because you are a mature man, actively caring for your health. A normal biological act, and as we have seen, tremendously beneficial. Free yourself from guilt. Your health, peace of mind, and well-being depend on it. Remember Mr. Richard, that 68-year-old patient with a downcast gaze, overwhelmed by shame, who left the consultation with straighter shoulders, head held high, and a renewed spark in his eyes. I didn't give him a prescription or a magic pill. I gave him something much more powerful: permission. Permission to be human, to feel, to care for himself without corrosive shame, to understand that his health and pleasure are not enemies, but allies in this wonderful stage of life. The choice is now yours. Will you continue carrying the chains of misinformation, imposed myths, and shame, or will you take the reins of your well-being with science, truth, and deep knowledge of your own body? Your body has been your faithful companion for 6, 7, 8, or more decades. It has carried you through life, worked tirelessly, healed, loved, and lived. It deserves to be cared for, known, and celebrated in its entirety. Do not let taboos or false beliefs steal even an ounce of the fullness you deserve in these golden years. If this message has helped you, if it has opened your eyes and heart, do not keep it to yourself. Think of that friend, brother, or brother-in-law of your age who may share the same doubts and silences. Share this video. It could be the most important and liberating health conversation in years.